Welcome back. We're super excited to talk today about our opinion. Although Kristi and I tend to think similarly, we actually have a couple differences in our opinions when it comes to speech and debate. And one of them it concerns YouTube videos. So the question we have often been asked are, what do you feel about kids using YouTube videos for their speeches, for speech? So your response would be?
Well, I tend to be fairly opposed to that approach, especially as a starting place when they're looking for material, when they're looking for inspiration. Some specific reasons for that, simply that it's very hard once you've seen a video of a piece, especially if it's the same piece that you intend to perform. You'll see some things very well done. It's very difficult not to get those things out of your mind, and they become a part of your own personal expectation for that piece. And then what we end up with is quite a lot of copying as opposed to original creative work from the ground up.
And I completely am opposed to plagiarism, because that's what it is when someone copies a speech off of YouTube. It's downright plagiarism, and it says that you're lacking integrity, and you're actually validating the integrity of the piece or what someone else intended. So I agree with Kristi on that stance. But seeing as though when we started, we were kind of flushed into the world of speech and debate. And honestly, the only place we had to even know what this looked like was from YouTube. And so we would have whole, meetings at our house of watching YouTube videos. We didn't copy them, but we did use them for ideas and went, oh, I like that. I can see Kristi's concern. I mean, we obviously coach a lot, and we see the abuse that sometimes YouTube has had.
Right.
But I feel like using YouTube as a learning, and if you ever decide to go the route of having or using a piece that you saw on YouTube, my coaching, I do not ever watch it again. Your piece needs to become your piece. What they did is what they did.
Right.
And so that's how I think we differ. Do you have anything to add?
Right. I just would say you definitely approach YouTube with a lot of caution. It's a very easy temptation sitting right in front of you. I think, I would say sort of the caveat in our family is if we love it on YouTube, we just don't touch it ourselves. We might look for a piece that has maybe by the same writer, a different story by the same writer, a different piece in the same genre, something with the same style or tone. But but once we see something that we really, really love, we tend to steer very clear of it just to keep ourselves strictly on the up and up there. Right. So I would approach it with a lot of caution. My advice is to stay. When I'm usually coaching, I say stay away from YouTube until the very, very, very end, when you've really built a piece and you are very happy. You've got a lot invested of your own work in something, and maybe you just need a little refresh on something. I think you can find things even in a different piece,
definitely, or
something like that would just give you a new burst of energy, a new inspiration. But I do think it's a point of caution. I think it's. I just think it's a huge temptation to copy, and it's hard not to unsee things from YouTube.
Right. And as a club leader, what would you say would be a piece of advice for your club leaders who might not have any idea that someone found a piece off of YouTube?
Well, I would definitely advise students that they're not the only ones looking on YouTube, that judges are also out there. And, as parents, very often, we've seen some of the same videos. So then when we encounter it in a round, it's apparent, the copying. So it's not, you're not the only ones as students out there searching. So, I would definitely advise students to that effect. And then I would just, I would really call your students out to that high level of integrity,
Right.
of doing really their own work. That's obviously we want to teach our students to, this whole process of building a piece. And that means a lot of analyzing the characters and grappling with the characters and deciding what we're capable of in the physical development of the piece. And so all of that creativity is what we want to encourage and build. And so that's what you want to really challenge your students to be focused on, and not on just finding something out there that will work.
Yeah, I think that's, so you see how we kind of differ, and it's okay. There is no right or wrong way.
No, definitely not.
But as a club leader, I think I would just say it is in your hands about how much you research too on how to be a better coach. And I think that looking at YouTube videos as a club leader can help you go, oh, I see how they embodied that character or set that scene. The YouTube for that purpose is, again, a big learning arena for us. So, because, some people can't get to a tournament even before their first, opening tournament or whatever. So, anyways, have fun. Happy YouTubing if you choose to do so. And that's what we have to say about it.
Right.
Thanks.